I couldn't wait to pour the resin. The details are delicate and sweet, and I thought that would be perfect. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Now, I do like messing around with things and trying new things out. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, but I do think it's good to show you what happens when things don't work out. So in this video, we may have a couple of examples of that. Do I get a piece at the end of it? Let's find out. So I'm going to try something with some silk screens. These are screen printing silk screens. I got them from Amazon, and I'll try and put the link in the description box below. But I'm going to try something different with them. Now, I don't know if you remember, just over a year ago, I tried a Daniel Cooper technique with baby lotion. And I thought I'd try it with silk screens, because silk screens you can push colour through as well as ink, which they're designed for, I believe. And I thought they might work well with Daniel Cooper's baby lotion technique. Now, I will try and link that video in the top right hand corner. At the time, I only tried it once and it did work really well, but I didn't use baby lotion. I used a different lotion which I had, and I left it overnight, so it kind of dried out. So although it worked, and it did work really quite well, you shouldn't really leave this kind of thing overnight to dry out. So I had to make sure I did everything in the same day. I'm going to start small with just a snowflake to see if I can get this to work to start with. So this time I've actually got genuine Johnson's baby lotion. I actually bought it straight after that video, and it's been sitting on my shelf, and I figured now is the time to try it out. Now, silk screens are very thin, but they do stick to the surface of your mould because they have a sticky background. That's the whole idea. And they have like a mesh system through them, so you can push paint through the mesh. And I have tried it with mica powder and it works really well. So I figured we'll try it with this baby lotion technique. Those of you who don't know, you put baby lotion onto the mould and then you pour resin over the top. And when the resin cures, you can wash the baby lotion away, and the imprint of where it was stays there. It doesn't affect the resin. It's a really good technique, and it did work really well with the stencil I used in that video. Taking off the silk screen, you can see clearly where the baby lotion is left on the mould. It looks like a beautiful, delicate snowflake, and I thought that looked really good. It's a good start. Now, I did go over the edge of the silk screen a little, so I make sure I clean that off with a cotton bud. I don't want anything else on this mould other than the designs I'm trying for. So the snowflake went really well. I decided to carry on, and I went on to the Father Christmas head silk screen. And I did exactly the same with the Father Christmas head as I did with the snowflake, making sure it was nicely pushed down onto the mould and coated it with the baby lotion, pushing it into that silk screen to make sure it had all the detail of the silk screen. I tried to keep the baby lotion within the silk screen area so there was no clean up to do, and I made sure I pushed it right the way down, and any excess was scraped away with a silicone tool so that it was nice and uniform. And look at that, it really came out well through the silk screen. Now, I did go on to do a lot more snowflakes and the tree at the bottom, and by this point I'm thinking this is going to be fantastic. I couldn't wait to pour the resin. The details are delicate and sweet, and I thought that would be perfect. I'm going to be using Estoyo resin for this. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, really easy, lovely resin to work with. And I have a discount code for Estoyo in the description box below the video. I'm going to colour it with Purple Jam, which is an eye candy pigment, beautiful purple. And I'm also going to use this little piggy's Twinkle, which is a purple twist colour, like a ghost pigment. And I thought these two colours would really complement each other, and I'm desperate to see how these work too. I have measured the amount of resin I need for this mould. Did it prior to using the silk screen, so I know exactly how much I needed. So I mixed the right amount. I used the stirring machine from Estoyo, which is a fantastic little stirrer. But with any stirrer, you do need to scrape the sides and the bottom of the cups to make sure you mix in any resin that has stuck to the sides or the bottom and just hasn't gone around with the blades of the machine. It's necessary for all mixers. You really do need to do this. Now with any mica, it is always a good idea to mix in the mica with a small amount of resin before you mix in a large amount. Therefore you can mix it really, really well. That's a good tip for anybody mixing colours into resin. Some micas don't dissolve as nicely as you want them to in resin. Not all micas work the same. You can have two micas from the same company and one will dissolve nicely and one will leave lumps. So it is a good idea to thoroughly mix that colour before you add a load more resin. It will give you a better mix at the end. By the way, I haven't used a bubble removing machine with this pour because these colours are solid. You're not going to see any bubbles that may be inside them. Once I was happy with the purple, I did it exactly the same with the Twinkle. Mixed it in with a small amount of resin first before I poured in the larger amount. Now I've got both of the colours mixed, I'm going to wait a little while for them both to warm up. As you can see at the moment they're 32 degrees. It has been about 10 minutes since I actually mixed them originally, but I'm going to wait for 15 to 20 minutes to make sure they're really nice and warm. By waiting for the resin to warm up, you're going to get a better colour separation and not such a merge of the two colours together if you're pouring in at the same time. It's also worth noting that the higher the temperature, the less the colours will mix. So if you leave them longer, you'll get a better separation. I'm going to be doing a dirty pour. So I've poured the purple back into the cup that I used originally to mix the resin. I'm then pouring the Twinkle on top and I'm just giving it a little stir. I mean, we're talking mixing it very slightly. Now this is where you can see how the Twinkle does react to the dark colour of the purple. The Twinkle is a ghost blue purple and it's going to give me a shimmer of colour that is so different to the purple base. Ghost colours work better with a dark colour behind them, and in this case the dark colour is the purple. So I pour out the mix into the mould and let it do its thing. Now resin is always going to surprise you with the results it gives you, but I'm looking forward to this one. "24 hours later, I can demold." Now this is actually the following morning. It's only about 15 to 20 hours after pouring, so the resin is still supple. Now I loved what the back looked like. I couldn't wait to see it demolded, so I was really excited. Couldn't wait any longer. And I really love how this came out. Now I am showing you the mould here because I wanted to show you there was no baby lotion on there. But when the piece came out of the mould, I was really shocked. Not only by the amazing, beautiful colour, but I couldn't see any baby lotion at all. I was looking and trying to figure out where the design had gone, where the baby lotion was on the mould, if it was there at all. Had it washed away? I also noticed the base wasn't flat. That was a mould issue, and that can be rectified with another coat of resin. However, where are my designs gone? The pictures that I put in that took me quite some time. Maybe I can wash the surface and find them. Maybe they're just disguised. I mean, I don't know if you can see that on the video, but there are some faint lines. It's just a strain to see them. But I'm going to have to see if I can clean out the baby lotion and they might appear. I really did like the shape of this mould. It's a shame it had a wobbly bottom, but we can fix that. So I got some isopropyl alcohol and baby wipes. I gave it a good clean. I then cleaned it with a lint-free microcloth and the lines vaguely appeared. I mean, if you stare hard enough, you can see them. But who's going to pick up a piece and stare that hard to see what's in the bottom? I'm guessing the baby lotion wasn't thick enough. I really couldn't leave it like that. I had to fix this. Because I loved the tray, I loved the colour, and I do love the way it turned out. But I had to fix it because there was no detail of that pattern. The centre of the tree just wasn't there. So I went back to the silk screens and then realised that actually trying to put it on the same place as the other centre, it wasn't possible because it's upside down. But I went with it anyway. Now this time I'm going to use metal sized glue on top of the silk screens. I can't actually remember if I've done this before. If I've used metal sized glue on silk screens before. If I have, please let me know. This could be the first time, but I'm not sure. Honestly, my memory's going. Anyway, I used the metal sized glue right the way over the centre silk screen. Now the thing is with metal sized glue is you leave it to dry. When it's dry, after about 40 minutes, it goes completely clear. And when it's completely clear, it stays sticky. So it will pick up anything that you put on it, whether it be foils or mica, it will stick to it. And although this could have come out a little bit neater, I think it's going to work okay. By the way, if you're finding this video useful or helpful, why not put a thumbs up? That will really help my channel out. With the sander head, I decided to use some silver flakes from Emma the Tiny Turner. These are sold on Toonpish.com. They are really excellent quality flakes. So powdery, so thin, and brilliant for this kind of thing. They're not like the foil sheets that are very common. They're not the same. When you brush it around, it kind of turns into a silver mica. But I started covering all the area where the glue was. I couldn't really see where the glue was myself, but obviously the flakes will pick it up. Or rather, it will pick up the flakes and it will stick to them. Or the flakes will stick to it. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? They stick. The flakes stick to the glue. Oh my goodness. When I had covered the design, I then brushed off the excess silver and popped it back in the pot because there's nothing wrong with that. You can use it again. Now it does look as if there's quite a lot of shadowing behind the picture. So I grabbed a bigger, fluffier, clean makeup brush to go over the top and clean up the area and started to burnish that silver over the picture. That will take off all of that excess and just leave the picture where the glue was. And after a bit of a clean with a baby wipe, I was left with a nice detailed centre. And for a rescue attempt, I'm really happy with that. Now I did exactly the same thing with the tree. I'm not going to put you through the whole process because it's a bit tedious to watch the same thing over and over. But once that tree was dry, I used Ether, which is another of Emma the Tiny Turner's pigments in green. And again, I just brushed this colour over the top of the entire area where I thought the glue was. And anything left over got brushed back into the container. I don't like wasting mica, especially Emma's pigments. They are stunning. And I did exactly the same with the tree as I did with the Father Christmas. I burnished it in, I cleaned up the area, and it gave me a rather lovely Christmas tree design. So I'm saving the tray that I really love. But it was missing those snowflakes. I am really into snowflakes this year. And I wanted to add snowflakes. So these are very small snowflake UV DTFs. They were gifted to me. I couldn't tell you where they come from. I would imagine they come from Temu, either Amazon or even AliExpress. I have no idea, but they are adorable and easy to use and were perfect to add in on this tray. Once I had all my little snowflakes on the piece, I then needed to seal in the mica and the silver foil, because as a tray is going to get used, you're going to have wear and tear, and that sort of design is going to need to be sealed in. I'm using craft resin tabletop epoxy. It's food safe, heat safe, scratch resistant, and it would be perfect for the inside of this tray. Because it's food safe, I can then put cookies in it, I can put sausage rolls on it, and it would finish this tray off perfectly. I only just about made enough, and this tabletop epoxy is really thick and did not want to move. So in order to spread it around, I used a heat gun to make sure it was moving. When you use a heat gun on a resin, it thins it so that it can move easier. So the heat gun worked wonders. Now usually with pieces like this I put cork on the bottom, but I like the design and the colour of the bottom of this so much I decided not to. I put my logo on the bottom and decided to use clear rubber feet. Then you can still see the colour underneath and know that the rubber feet won't scratch any wooden tables or any surfaces, and protects the tray and other surfaces too. I put one rubber foot on each of the corners and one in the middle, and I absolutely love this. It did take me a while to get there, and it wasn't what I was expecting, but I got the same designs on there I originally started, and I really love how this came out. The snowflakes definitely made it shine. Without them it could have been quite dull, but overall I love the shape, I love the design, and I'm really happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and maybe learned something too, as I did. I learned that to do Daniel Cooper's baby lotion technique, the baby lotion needs to be quite thick, not thin, or you won't see it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Happy crafting, and bye for now.